Hello friends, so welcome back to my channel. So in this is a basically lecture series of nomenclature of different types of organic molecules. So in this lecture I am going to talk about the nomenclature of different types of cycloalkanes. Okay, so let's start with a very simple example. Okay, so as you can see that this is a three carbon atom compound which is known as cyclopropane. Okay, so in my earlier lecture I have told you that if any alkane chain contain 3 carbon atoms, simple CH3 CH2 CH3, then the name of that compound is propane. Okay, so this is basically a non-cyclic compound, but if it is become a cyclic or cycloalkanes, then we will add a word that is called cyclo before that propane. Okay, so it will become cyclopropane. Similarly, this compound which has total 4 carbon atom is known as cyclobutane. Okay, so for a non-cyclic compound containing 4 carbon atom, we call this compound butane, and if this compound become a cyclic compound or cycloalkane, then again we add this cyclo before this butane. Okay, now let's take some more complicated example where these types of cycloalkane contain some substituents. Okay, so in that case what will be the nomenclature? So let's take one example. So this is a cycloalkanes which contain this substituents, as you can see. Now you know that this substituents is also called isopropyl. So this is a very common name which is also used in IUPAC nomenclature. So this group is called the isopropyl group. Okay, or isopropyl substituents. So the name of that compound will be isopropyl, then cyclo because it is a cyclic compound, and as this compound contain total 1 2 3 cyclic compound contain total 1 2 3 4 5 6 carbon atom, so it will be cyclohexane. Hex means 6 carbon atoms. Okay, so the name of the compound will be isopropyl cyclohexane. Okay, now let's take another example. So what is the name of this compound? Now as you can see that the substituents is chlorine, so that's why we have to start with chloro, 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 and then the word cyclo we have to add for any kinds of cycloalkanes, and then as you can see that this cycloalkanes contain total 5 carbon atoms, so that's why the name of this compound will be pentane. So chlorocyclopentane. Now these are the examples where there is only one substituents present in these types of cycloalkanes. Now what happens when there are more than one substituents? Okay, let's understand this nomenclature with some simple example. Okay, so let's take the example of this compound. So this is the hydroxyl group, this is the functional group, and this is the methyl group. So in my previous lecture, if you remember, if you do not follow this, you can go back to my previous lecture. The link is in the description in the right on this site. The link is there, as you can see. So if you are not able to follow, then you can go back to my earlier lecture of the nomenclature of different types of branched chain alkane, where I have told you that if there is any functional groups like hydroxyl, then the position of the carbon atom with which this hydroxyl group is attached should be as minimum as possible. Okay, so in that case the numbering of this carbon atom will be like 1 2 3 4 5 6. So you can see that we can the numbering is in such a way that the carbon atom which is bearing this hydroxyl group should have the lowest numbering. So in these types of numbering, the carbon atom gets the numbering 1, which is the lowest numbering. Okay, now the numbering of this substituents, that is the methyl substituents, is 2. Okay, now according to the IUPAC nomenclature, while naming this compound, we have to take the alphabetical order. Now in case of hydrox, so you can see that position of this methyl group is 2, so it will be 2-methyl. Again we have to add the word cyclo because it is a cycloalkane, cyclo. Okay, now there are total 6 carbon atom in this cyclic compound, so it will be hex. Now as there is OH group is added, so it will be hexanol. So in my previous lecture I have told you that when there is any hydroxyl groups is being attached, then in case of hexane or 6 carbon atom compound, the E will be deleted, and instead of E we have to add OL, all. So that emphasizes the hydroxyl group. Okay, that shows that the hydroxyl group is present in the compound. So the nomenclature of the compound is 2-methyl cyclohexanol. Now let's take another very interesting problem. Now there is methyl substituents and there is ethyl substituents. Now you must be wondered that what will be the correct numbering of different carbon atoms. So as you can see that there are basically 2 different substituents. As you can see, this is the methyl substituents and this is the ethyl substituents. Now the numbering can be like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is one type of numbering, or the numbering can be in another way, which will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it will be, the numbering can be clockwise or anti-clockwise, but which numbering we should take? So according to the IUPAC nomenclature, if you just number the first substituents, that the numbering of the first substituents should be as low as possible. So in both case of numbering, as you can see, the numbering of the first substituent, that is the methyl substituents, is 1. Okay, now if there is any second substituents present in that compound, then according to the IUPAC nomenclature, the carbon atom which bears this second substituents should have minimum numbering. Okay, so if you go down like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. Okay, so sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So in that case, this carbon atom which bears this ethyl substituents get the numbering 3. On the other hand, if we do the numbering anti-clockwise, then the carbon atom which bears this ethyl group gets the numbering 5. So obviously, if we go with the clockwise numbering of different carbon atoms, then the second then the carbon atom bearing the second substituents get the lowest number 3. So that's why this clockwise numbering will be the right numbering. Okay, now you can see that while writing the name of this compound, we have to use that substituents which is alphabetically previous to the methyl group. Now you can see that this substituents is ethyl and this substituents is methyl. Now the first alphabet of ethyl is E and the first alphabet of methyl is M. So E came before the word M, so that's why this ethyl, name of this ethyl substituents will come first. So the name of this compound will be 3-ethyl 1-methyl, again the word cyclohexane. Okay, clear? If you do have any questions, you can always ask me through the comment section. Okay, so the name of this compound will be 3-ethyl 1-methyl cyclohexane. Okay, so alphabetical order should follow while we should do the numbering. Okay, now let's take the example of this compound. Okay, sorry. Okay, so what will be the nomenclature of this compound? So you can see that the numbering will be like 1 2 3 4 5 6. So in this way we can number the carbon atom which bears the second substituents, the lowest numbering, that is 2. Okay, so the name of this compound will be 2-ethyl methyl cyclohexane. Okay, so this will be the name of the compound. Now suppose there is another compound, these two are same, only one chlorine group is attached. So the numbering will remain same, 1 2 3 4. Okay, so in that case the chlorine will come first, because chlorine, the first word is C, so C is before E alphabetically. Okay, so the numbering will be 4 chloro 2-ethyl methyl cyclohexane. I think your doubt is now clear about the numbering of the carbon atom. So if you do have any questions regarding this nomenclature, do not hesitate to comment down. I will always reply your query. Okay, now suppose there is a single ring and the substituents contain very high big carbon chain. Okay, like this. So as you can see that the ring contain 1 2 3 4 carbon atom. The ring consists of basically 4 carbon atom. On the other hand, the substituents consist of 1 2 3 4 5 carbon atom. So the number of carbon atom that the substituents possess is much more than the number of carbon atom that this ring possesses. So in this types of situation, we should consider this ring as substituents and this chain as the primary chain. Okay, so how? So we will number this way 1 2 3 4 5, so that the carbon atom bearing this substituents get the lowest numbering. Okay, so we will write 1 cyclobutyl pentane. So as you can see that by using these types of numbering, we thought this 4-membered ring is basically nothing but the substituent. So that's why we use the phrase cyclobutyl. Okay, now let's take another example. Okay, so what will be the nomenclature of this compound? So we will do the numbering like this: 1 2 3. So you can see that at position 1 and at position 3 there are 2 cyclohexyl groups are being present. Okay, so we will write 1 3 di cyclohexyl, and you can see that the main primary chain contains 3 carbon atom. So cyclohexyl propane. Okay, so this is the nomenclature of this compound. Okay, so here I am giving you some more problems, so you can do practice at your home. I will so try to do the nomenclature at your own, so that you can understood it. Okay, so what will be the name of this compound? at first you just try to solve at your own. If you do not able to solve, then you just see my answer. Okay, so you can see that this substituents is nothing but tert-butyl. Okay, so the name of that compound will be 1-tert-butyl cyclopentane. Cyclo because it is cyclic compound, and pentane because the cyclic compound or the cyclic ring contain total 5 number of carbon atoms. Okay, now let's take the example, second example. So what will be the name of this compound? So you can see that this substituent is methyl. And what is the name of this substituents? You guess. I have already discussed it in my earlier lecture of the nomenclature of different types of branched chain alkane. So the name of this substituents is isobutyl. So these types of substituents are known as isobutyl. Okay, so you can see the numbering is like this: 1, 2. So 1 isobutyl, 2 methyl cyclohexane. So isobutyl came first because I is alphabetically previous to M. I came alphabetically before M, so that's why isobutyl group should be named first. Okay, and the position of this isobutyl group is 1. So 1 isobutyl, 2 methyl, cyclo because it is cyclic alkanes, and hexane because the main ring contains total 6 number of carbon atoms. Okay, now let's take another example. First of all, you please try to solve it at your own. If you are not able to solve, then you see this answer. Okay, so what will be the name of this compound? So as you can see that the main cycloalkane is this one, which is cyclohexane. Okay, and so this is the position. Okay, so you can see that this is the substituent, that is butyl, because it contains total 4 carbon atoms, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1 butyl cyclohexane, this is the name of this compound. Okay, now let's take another example where total 3 substituents are present. This one chlorine and 2 methyl. Now what will be the numbering? So the numbering will be in such a way that the second substituents get the lowest numbering. Okay, so the if you do the numbering like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, then the carbon atom which bears the second substituents gets the lowest numbering 2. So that's why the clockwise numbering is the right numbering in this case. Okay, now the name of this compound is 1-chloro 2,4-dimethyl, because at 2 and 4 position methyl substituents are present. Okay, so the name of the compound is 1-chloro 2,4-dimethyl cyclohexane. Okay, well, let's take another example. This is chlorine and this is hydroxyl. So what will be the numbering? The numbering will be in such a way that the carbon atom bearing this hydroxyl group gets the lowest numbering. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the correct numbering. Okay, so the name of the compound will be 2-chloro cyclopentanol. Cyclopentanol because it contains hydroxyl functional group, so that's why we write pentanol. And this is the last example that I am going to describe you. So there is hydroxyl group, and you can see there is one tert butyl group is present. Okay, so the numbering will be 1 2 3 4 5 6. So the name of the compound will be 3-tert butyl cyclohexanol. So this is the name of this compound. So I hope that now you are able to do the nomenclature of different types of cycloalkanes. So in my next lecture I am going to discuss about the nomenclature of different type of bicyclic cycloalkane. And if you do like this video, then don't forget to subscribe to my channel Chembiosis. So see you in the next lecture. Thank you very much. Bye bye.